Hey guys, this is Coach Carly, and you're watching Bull Time.
All right, we are April 2023 Bull Time. Man, it's been a while, as you can tell, as actually you won't be able to tell even though I recorded in May before April, but I'm wearing the same outfit, so if you see the same thumbnail, don't be alarmed. We recorded these in one night, only because April went all the way until the end of April, and then my only meet in May was the first weekend in May. So ended up working out that we just bang them out in 1 week. So what happened in April? Man, we had 3 meets. We had our own meet that we ran, the Gotham meet. We had our last national level meet until the actual Nats for our team. We had collegiate Nats, and then we had Pennsylvania State Champs. Those 3 meets this upcoming Bull Time. We had over, I think, 11 athletes compete this one. We had a lot of our national level athletes compete. I think we had 6 national level competitors competing out of 11, so that's super dope. 8 if you count our collegiate level lifters. I'm talking more of like the raw Nats peeps. We're getting really good at these meets. You know, we have a really good team, a really good supporting cast between everyone involved. You know, our food peeps at Barrel and Brine, our video peeps with Tyler, our photo peeps with Kev and Sarah, and just everyone that helps out our little camaraderie team. Our front desk peeps with Shannon and David, our scoring table with Gina, Jim, and Shannon, all of our judges with our normal judges. I can even consider Gunther a part of that now too. So Gunther, Nate, Kate, my wife Leah, Maggie, all of our normal help. The Smith family has been absolutely incredible. Lindsay and Gage Faye, they have been absolutely incredible. And all the people that Dan Chen always helps out, spotting and loading. And I'm sorry if I'm leaving someone out. I'm just thinking about the regulars that are always helping. Plus our normal mustache team with Molly, Matt, and Zach. They're always helping out and always doing some stuff. It's been awesome. We just have a really good jive. Everyone helps out. Everyone's been just fucking awesome. So without further ado, we'll get to the meet that we ran, the Gotham Classic. We had 7 of our peeps compete. First up, we had Mr. Mikey Christensen. Oh man, Mikey. 8 for 9, 17.5 kilo total PR for Mr. Mikey. Last meet, probably for a while. He's going to be, he fully committed to Damon College. He's going to be a Division II athlete for track and field, and he's going to be a thrower there. I'm fucking so elated for that kid. We started when he was 12, 13 years old, and I remember him walking into the gym, and now he's a college, almost high school graduate, almost a college attendee, and it was so nice to see him just absolutely crush his last meet. I'm so happy for him. No projectile vomit this meet for Mikey, so I guess that's a plus as well. But it was a nice send-off. Really, really happy for him, really proud of him and all the progress that he's been able to make. Yeah, it's been great. Next up, we had Mr. Colin Moonen. Mr. Colin, one of my Chi-Town people. Colin's been awesome. Colin's been so supportive of everything that we do. He communicates extremely well. He maybe some over communication, but I'd rather have more communication than less communication. I would rather listen to a 5-minute voice memo of him going over everything and why, and me taking some of that information and explaining what's good about it, what's bad about it, and how I can really relay that. Colin was off to a great start. 2.5 kilo squat PR. Should have had a bench PR. You know, shit happens. You know, it's about understanding the fatigue, taking what's there, not getting too overly aggressive with it. Shit happens, right? So we miss on the bench, and then damn, he had some downward up and down motion on the deads where just kind of bobbled it. It moved so fast. So we should have ended up with a closer to 12.5 kilo total PR, maybe a 15 kilo total PR, but shit happens, right? You don't get it. So the training went extremely well. In the thick of a building phase for him right now, and Shit's been awesome. So I'm really happy with he's finally finding a groove. We're chipping away. We're making the right appropriate modifications for him. Then next up we had Mr. Greg Monroe, one of my Wisconsin peeps came out for the meet. Mr. Greg went 7 for 9 and a 17.5 kilo total PR. Again, Greg just keeps chipping away. A dude that just puts his head down, goes to work, puts his head down, goes to work. Understand, he's been in the game long enough, he's old enough, he understands like what this sport entails, how you can keep getting better at it, how each and every single day you have to win that day, not being too aggressive in the jumps, making sure that he's taking complete control of all the things, whether that's training, whether that's sleep, whether that's nutrition. Once we bumped up a weight class, that's been, I think, 30 kilos total in 2 meets, combined 2 meets that he's seen as a total PR for him. So, how the hell can we complain? Totaling, I think, 770 this meet, and 2 meets in a row we've missed that last deadlift, which is such a buzzkill, but at the end of the day, it's only missing it because of grip. It's not strength. Like, he's literally strong enough to do it, just hasn't quite hit on that, which is fine. Next up, we had Miss Hillary Beard. Hillary came out from Cali for us. She went 8 for 9, chipping her bench and deadlift and missing on a squat, which is fine. We weighed in a little bit heavier. I think we weighed in at like 101.5 or 102, something like that. But we had a really good deadlift performance, had a really good bench performance. Everything moved the exact way we wanted to. So I have nothing to complain about. We are figuring out the squat. And for those of you who have never met Hillary, Hillary is very tall, very long-legged, very short torso. So we try our best to get the most out of the squat that we can. Just the last 2 meets, we haven't gotten much, which is okay. Shit happens. I'm excited. We have a genuine opportunity to hit the American record deadlift this upcoming meet, so I can't fucking wait to see what we put together and really fucking blow that out of the water for her. Next up, we had Miss Jennifer Smith. Oh man, Jen. As I said earlier, I absolutely love the Smith family. The Smith family has been nothing but in my corner since day one. Although I can say Jen necessarily wasn't in my corner day one. She chose someone else. Just kidding. But no, serious. Like she works her ass off, and there's so much that goes into these meets. There's whether it's pressure, whether it's the anxiety of it, whether it's not being able to see the end product. There's so many things that can falter why things don't go well. You can do all the best training in the world. You can dig deep. You can lock in. You can do all the right things in training, and then when the lights get turned on, sometimes it just doesn't transfer. And unfortunately, we've shot our shot to try to make Nats this year, and it unfortunately didn't happen. I take some responsibility for that. I try all my hardest to achieve the goals that my athletes want to achieve, and when I think they're extremely realistic, and honestly, I 100% think that it's realistic for Jen. I still do. We could probably wake up tomorrow and try to qualify for Nats and do it. But the fact of the matter is we didn't, and we will get back to the drawing board, and we will figure out how we can keep moving forward and get better at these things and control the controllables. Next up, we had her son, Mr. Nolan Smith. Oh man, Mr. Nolan. This dude hasn't missed. Literally, I think in the 6 meets that he's done, 5 meets that he's done, he has missed 2 total lifts or 3 total lifts. Most of which came in his first 2 meets. And then everything after that, he's fucking smoked. The 270 kilo total at a 56 kilo youth lifter. Another 9 for 9 performance. 57.5 kilo total PR. Like that Jay-Z song said, what more can I say? Just crazy, like absolutely epic performances from him. It's hard to put into words because like in the gym, we definitely talk a lot of smack. We definitely talk a lot of smack to each other. And this kid shows up and performs. He shot his shot. He called his own shots and he crushed it. Fucking crushed, walked the walk, talked the talk, and then walked the walk. Super proud of him. Last up, we had Mr. Zach Clapp, Coach Zach here with Ethos Sports Performance and or Performance Rehab and Mustache Fitness and Barbell, PT with Ethos Performance Rehab and coach here at Mustache. He had a great meet. again, we talk about little things that can go wrong in meets, right? I've talked about that on so many different occasions. One little cue, you'll hear me say this later on in this YouTube video with someone else, but you oversync your squats and you don't have enough, you're at the top end percentage of what you're capable of. And if you just don't have the right form, it's probably not going to go. So you have to make sure that you're in the best positions possible all the time. Just making sure that you're staying in good positions. And honestly, one bad move in that way for him cost him, that QT for Nats, honestly. Had so much more room in the deadlift. I don't think he would have had another 10 kilos, definitely another 5, so it makes you go back and think like, okay, I need to go 3 for 3 in the squat, get the most out of that day, and then save a lot in the deadlift for himself. So been an overall great day. Saw a really good deadlift PR, 5 kilos, so nothing to complain about there. And that concludes our Gotham meet. Now we're gonna move on to the second meet where we had 2 of our peeps compete. We had Collegiate Nats. We had Ange in the 67 kilo varsity division. Excuse me, they don't have varsity. Excuse me, just collegiate division. And Ange had a rough day. A lot of factors led into that, right? It's not just about powerlifting. There is also life that happens. Life outside of here can sometimes make or break, what you do into a lift. And for her, unfortunately, things just weren't lining up. A lot of stress, a lot of, unsure if she's even going. And then we show up, and unfortunately, some things don't fall our way. I think she got definitely hosed on both of her squat calls. But shit happens, right? I mean, you're not in the chair, you're not seeing what they're seeing, you're the coach and you're just kind of standing in the back watching, and you can agree or disagree. And unfortunately, I disagree with the calls, but that's the way that everything was laid out. So we tried to make a little aggressive of a jump to try to hit a total PR for her, and it didn't happen on the dead, so we ended up 6 for 9, missing 2 squats and all the benches and 1 deadlift. But I know we'll be back. I know we're gonna plan something hopefully for the fall. Maybe she'll come up here for a meet depending on where med school and everything leads her. Next up, we had Mr. Jared Gackenbach. Last collegiates for him. He's graduating this year. He went 8 for 9, just did a little bit less than his best ever, did -2.5 than his best ever total. We hit a squat PR, we hit a bench PR, we just ran out of steam. We had a very short turnaround. I mean, we did mayhem, smoked it. I think it was like a 65 kilo total PR for him. Absolutely smoked his meet. But I think that short turnaround, being tired, traveling, all the way down south to Dallas, shit happens, right? So at the end of the day, we have to go with what we're dealt, and unfortunately for him was just minor PRs, and then seeing if we had enough energy for that last pull, and unfortunately we didn't at that time, and shit happens. So he had a great meet, great training. I mean, we literally got the most out of what we could that day. Not only that day, we got the most out of what we could his entire 2-month training block leading into this. I mean, we're literally saying that we finished mayhem beginning of February, and then we took a week off, and then we went right back into training and competed mid-April. I mean, that's such a hard fucking turnaround. So the fact that he was able to handle that as well as he did, I'm pumped. So that concludes collegiates, and now we're on to the last meet for April. PA State Champs down in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Electric City. We had 2 of our peeps compete. First up, we had Isabella Haight. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but Bella did. Oh my God, Bella has such a bright future, regardless of whatever weight class she chooses, 82, 90, it doesn't matter. The sky is the limit for her. I mean, she is a 16-year-old female who has a complete chance at crushing her competition. I mean, she's at a 435 kilo total, and potential American record in bench, potential American record in deadlift, potential American record in total. She is just cruising. She saw a 42.5 kilo total PR, and I couldn't speak volumes. I mean, we just got back into training together this past December, and we're already here in April. and she fucking smoked everything. Like, absolutely smoked everything. She had more room in the bench, more room in the squat. She went 7 for 9. She got real tired. She got real tired by the time her deadlifts came around. Again, like, when you talk about all that weight accumulation in one day from where you were in the last meet, I mean, yeah, that was just a huge number increase. So you got to work a little bit on that conditioning, but for the most part, I mean, she fucking smashed it. So nothing but positive things to say. I mean, you saw a 42.5 kilo total PR. That's mind-blowing. So speaking of mind-blowing, our next person, I mean, Mr. Jackson. What a fucking day. I'll talk about the one negative that he had. I alluded to it earlier when I was talking about Zach. Both those dudes squat very similarly. The moment that they're out of position, the moment that they have to work extra hard for that squat, the moment that it's over. It's not going to trend in that direction. That's going to be like, oh yeah, I can like really grind through that. Unfortunately, when you're like that slight out of position, got to work harder. I mean, they kick back and they just don't have that power. So unfortunately for him, he missed that last squat. Could have even been more. We could have had 800 keys on the table. Just didn't happen. So I'm okay with that, especially considering we hit one of our goals at a 400 plus pound bench and we hit the American record fucking deadlift in the Team 3 110 division. I mean, holy shit. I mean, literally American record, 326.5 kilos, chipped it by a half kilo. Was probably good for another 2 to 5 kilos on that platform. Just absolutely smashed it. It was a 56.5 kilo total PR for him. An 8 for 9 day, just crushes it. I mean, it's wild to think what kind of progression Mr. Jackson's made from when we first started back in the summer of 2021. The summer of 2021 is when we started. And this dude is literally on the verge of like just blowing up. It's just crazy. It's wild. It's crazy to see the kind of progression, the work that he puts in. And not only the work that he puts in, like the work that no one sees, like the PT work that he does to rehab his back and his knee, the amount of food that he's willing to eat, the amount of work that he's putting in outside of this about making sure that he has enough sleep, making sure that he's rested, making sure that he's doing soft tissue work, reaching out when possible, doing all the things that he needs to do to be successful as an athlete. And he's crushing it. So, I mean, it goes to show you how much progress he's been able to make in such a short time. And I can't wait to see what's next. So, sky's the limit for him. Sky's the limit for a lot of these peeps. Greg, Hillary, Nolan, Bella. I can keep naming for days and days. But super pumped. It was a great month. Great meets. I mean, so far on the average for the year, as at the end of April of 2023, as a team, we are averaging 86.4% lifts made and a 12.5 kilo total PR, and that's amongst 52 different times of someone competing. So, fuck yeah. I'll see you guys in May.